Hello, Henry. Happy to see you.
Hello, Ramesh. Nice to see you.
So today I thought, have a conversation with you and see, and see what what you're up to these days, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a programmer by profession, and I've done various projects for years in Second Life, and more recently more in OpenSim, and been involved with various content creators and written little scripts here and there to help people bring some life into their objects that they've been creating. And it's occurred to me over time that I was doing the same things over and over again, things like opening and closing doors, fires, candle flames, and this sort of thing. And that was what was really needed was some kind of software that people, some kind of scripted solution that people could use to create their own things without having to learn any scripting at all. And on that basis, I started this business, Handy's Tools, and I started with a simple candle script that people could put into their own candles and get the flames they wanted, the appearance they wanted, and choose from a range of textures. And from then on, I've added to that other products, one that opens and closes doors and drawers and so on, another that gives light, another that gives water effects like the fountain near us. And okay. These I now offer for sale in Second Life and in OpenSim, and here in Kitely especially.
Right. Just like, I guess, in our world, you've got like people that we refer to as a scientist. I think you are the builder's builder. You're like a, like the person like a builder has to go to in order to get what they want to do more quickly.
Mm.
Right.
Yes, it's an interesting position to be in, because the people who tend to buy my stuff are for the most part, they're builders themselves, and so I'm not selling directly to the public, although a lot of people do buy my systems just for their own amusement.
Right.
But it's an interesting situation to be in as a content creator, to be a content creator's source, right, if you like.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, and I remember in the old days of Second Life, we used to have like a special section which was gadgets, which was but you're doing a bit more than that. You're actually implementing like subsystems that people can take, like the door mechanisms, for example.
Yes.
It's not a gadget; it's a function. So that's another aspect of the economy that I think you're one of the main players in that section. So well, if you have is there anything you want to show us? And it's yeah, so I can just walk and follow you, and you can just...
Yeah, I'll show you. This is my shop in Kitely. I have a similar shop in other grids as well, but from Kitely, people who make systems using my software can then export those products to other grids through the hypergrid. Mm-hmm. And here, for example, is the fountain system, and this provides three things for somebody that wants to create any kind of water effect. There's the spray that we see on the top, then there's the water surface, which is an animated texture, and then there's the sound. And all of these three parts can be used whichever appropriate and customized. And if I now click this, there's a demonstration which shows different combinations of those three elements as a demonstration, and people can fine-tune this so that it suits exactly the product that they're working on. You know, so it's whether they want a little bit of water like this or
right.
A large amount like we had before, and the different textures, the different flows, how wide it spreads. They can even change the colour, and all of this without knowing anything about scripts, because it occurs to me that a lot of people are producing very beautiful objects. And are highly skilled in making things, or not, as the case may be, but they shouldn't have to learn to program in order to be able to make full use of them. So that's where I come in. I do the programming for them, and give them a sort of an off-the-shelf solution so that they can get the effects that they want.
Right, right. And the way I look at this is that, you know, everybody has like, there are limited hours in the day, and every one of us have a particular expertise. So if you have someone who's got a lot of artistic expertise, and they are very, you know, it's the aesthetics that drives them and everything that they do, so they wouldn't want to, it would be a shame if they have to start to learn program, because then that pulls them away from what actually drives them, and there is a distance between that's created between what they want to create and how to do it, and tools like this one, you know, would not only reduce the time it takes to come up with a product, but it also allows them to be closer to the art of their design, if you know what I mean.
That's
aesthetics.
Right. And let's face it, most people don't want to learn to program. They have actually no interest in programming. I enjoy it, but most people don't, and quite understandably so. And even, I mean, so if we could look over here, there's I was mentioning doors and things, and something like this, a door script. There are plenty of them for free, and if I can show this one, opening and closing doors here. And even this bridge that's animated, all done with the same system. And there are door scripts which can do this kind of thing quite simply, and you just need to hack the scripts and just need to put in the positions and angles of the door open and closed and things. But even that, I say just, and that's actually quite complicated for people to do.
Right.
And you know, you have to know the numbers, you have to know the accuracies that you need, and so on.
Yes.
And with this, it's all hidden with a menu. You can edit the door, move it into the position that you want it in, and say that's the closed position. Move it to another position and click another button on the menu that says that's the open position, and it's recorded, and then it from there. And that's, you know, people have used this a lot in furniture, in houses, and in vehicles, and all sorts of things. Again, so that's like with the fountain, people that are producing often very beautiful items who have no interest in learning the coding behind it. They don't want to know that. They want to concentrate on the aesthetics, and quite rightly so. And so, you know, that's whereas a system like this, I think, can help people.
Well, from my end, from my perspective, I find that, you know, having furniture that you can interact with and find stuff in them, that's so much more engaging, you know, than having you know, just a static object. And I would, you know, hope that people would use this as a default, you know, thing. And every time they are creating a furniture, they just use your software to add that functionality, you know, because it's not that hard if you have the tools. I'm just saying.
Absolutely. Yes, I mean, and there are some creators that do that. You know, I go to visit their shop and see what they're up to, and I find that pretty much everything they have out there has one of my scripts in it. And it's you know, and the same way that it's become. One thing you may have noticed as well in the past few years is that furniture these days is almost expected. It comes with animations, for example, you know, avatar dimensions. So if you get a chair, you're likely to find that it has 16 or 30 or something built-in animations. And I think the same way that people are coming to expect this from furniture that has moving parts, that the moving parts will actually behave when you click on them.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean the rest of the things here are just extensions. I mean, there's a swing here. It's a very similar idea to the doors, in the fact that there are swings, freebie swing scripts which work perfectly well, as long as you know which angles you're working with and so on. Whereas with this, if I click this, it's actually this is a demo which is set up as if you were as if you are a creator. In fact, if you click the swing, you should get a menu.
Okay.
Which will ask you which axis, X, Y, or Z.
All right.
And whichever you click, it will move the swing in that direction.
Ah, interesting. Interesting.
So if you try one, it should move.
Oh, you mean the one that's above? I can try it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so. All right. So if I want to go forward and back, that would be which direction, X, Y, or Z? I just want to be sure.
You can try. I'd try any of them and see what happens. It doesn't, if you get the wrong one, you can just try another. So that's clearly.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. That's nice, actually. All right.
Because it's impossible
that's
to
what I
know which
want.
way the swing is facing.
Yeah. So now that's great. Can I sit on it? No. Is there?
No, this is just a demonstration.
Okay. Yeah. No, I understand. So,
and from there, you can fine-tune how fast it goes, how far backwards and forwards it goes, and so on, without having to touch a line of coding. That's the idea. You don't have. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I can see how this can be, really useful if somebody is just setting up a park or, some kind of attraction for events, and it would be so easy just to, put a few of those things in, and builders can work on the art of the swing itself. Instead of having like a plank, they could have like a horse or something.
And what's interesting about these kind of things is that people come up with all sorts of uses for them. I mean, when I created this, I thought, well, I could use it for a pendulum, for a clock, and people have done that.
Oh, yeah.
And for a rocking chair is another one, which I didn't think of at the time. But yeah, people have made some beautiful rocking chairs that use this script to rock them backwards and forwards smoothly.
Okay. So if I may ask, or if you want to share, it's up to you. When a builder uses these tools and then they sell, a product, so how does the economics work out? I mean, do you get a share of everything that they sell, or how does that work?
No, it's a one-off payment. If they buy the system, they get. There are two parts to it. There's the setup script, which we've just been interacting with, which is what they used to create it in the first place. And then when they sell the products, to make the products work, there's a control script which they can give away or sell with the products, which is a copy transfer script. And there's no royalties to be paid or anything like that. So they can sell as many copies as they like, and it doesn't cost them a cent. Beyond what they paid initially for the system.
Well, I think that's looks like a good deal. All right. So is there anything else you want to share? I mean, so far we've seen really interesting stuff.
Yes, I mean the other things that are here. On the left here, there's a smoke system which people have used for steam as well, smoke and steam system. Which, again, if anybody comes to the shop, these are all set up as demos that they can play with.
Okay.
In fact, if you click on the chimney there that I have,
I can
you'll see a menu which
Yeah.
You can change any of those things and immediately see what it looks like.
Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to up the red a little bit and see, oh, now it's white, so I need to, if I want to make it red, I'm going to lower the green and blue.
Or you can just increase the red, it works the same way. It's a kind of
yeah, but the red is already at 255 because it was white before, isn't it?
But it keeps going until you get to completely red. It will go, if you increase the red, it will automatically reduce the green and blue for you.
Okay.
It's designed to be simple to use as possible, and it's so now we've got a nice pink smoke.
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, that looks really cool. So and I have to point out that once you've set up, the object the way you want it, of course you can maybe disable the tailoring aspect, if I can use that word, that customization aspect, so that
that's correct.
Yeah. So that when
if you the script that you've been interacting with to change the color, that's the setup script, is copy only. So you wouldn't include that in the object you give away. So it's it's what you give people is in that sense fixed. Although they can turn the smoke on and off, but they can't customize the smoke anymore. So you can just get it looking good with your product, and then you know that's what it's going to look like for everybody else.
Okay. All right. So you have anything else? The lamps?
Yeah, this is an electric light, which is probably one of the most, in essence, an electric light is one of the simplest scripts, except that this does have, as you can see there, probably an aura around it, which you can tune in texture, particle texture, and various other parameters that you can just change from the menu.
Yeah.
Without having to code anything.
Right. And is there any limits on the number of lights that you can add to an object? I mean, I know there are some viewer limits, but... Yeah,
I mean, it depends which type of light we're talking about, of course. The viewer limit is on the the light that is cast, what they call point light, also local light. But in terms of things that light up or glow, then there is no limit.
Okay. Yeah.
So you can have people have made chandeliers with dozens and dozens of lights in them, all controlled by that one script.
And I'm looking at the pictures of the lights above, and you've made all of these. I mean, as examples.
No, these are customers who've created things and have asked them if I minded sharing pictures of their creations.
That light in the center up there is really, really, really beautiful. I don't know who made this, but it's amazing.
Yeah, that's an old friend of mine actually in Second Life that made that. A Boone Clocks and Lamps is one of my earliest customers, and a lot of these are his. And some of them are items from people that are no longer around, and it's just an attempt to sort of to show what's the versatility that's behind some of the scripts.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's just like when I'm speaking to you, I wonder which platforms out there currently. Even if OpenSim is not supposed to be the thing that everybody's running to, but what I see here in terms of creativity and all these people actually, like you're creating something that other builders are using, I find that amazing. But anyway, I hope other people do as well. And by the way, people who are watching this clip and who find that it's interesting, please do share it. We really need to make an effort to spread the word about OpenSim and the various things that can be done with this platform. We really need to make that effort grow and sustain it with our you know, just by spreading the word out. Let's check this fire. I really like these flames. I mean, they look pretty smooth to me. So are there different flame types that you can choose here, or?
Yes, I mean, if you click the logs, you should be able to change the texture and the size and the colour and all those other things. The texture is probably the most dramatic change. And for these, I created some of these flame textures, and also an old friend of mine from Second Life, which is where I started out. Unfortunately, a vendor that's left Second Life now, but she had Molino, which was a place selling a variety of sort of Arabic and Indian styled furniture. And she was a whiz with textures, and so she created some of the textures that are on this menu as well. And Boone made some of them as well, from Boone clocks and lamps that I mentioned earlier. So between us, we came up with what we could for different fire effects.
Yep, that's beautiful.
There's a white one that we can colour yourself, because people sometimes want strange coloured fire.
Yeah.
So you can.
I think that would work great with ice. You know, the solid carbon dioxide blocks.
Yes.
Yeah.
With lots of smoke for dry ice effects.
Right. Yeah. Well, we've got many more things. I'm just looking at the time. How much time have we recorded yet? That's at least. Well, what we'll do is we'll cover as much as we can, and then I'll summarize later on. So what about this one? The candle?
Yes, this is candle flame. It's similar to the other flames that we've just seen, except that this is for a single flame, such as a candle or a gaslight or something like that. And again, there are a variety of textures, and above we have examples of products. These are all from Molino systems, Molino furniture. And if you'd like to click the candle, you can see the menu that you get, and again there are texture options, size, and so on. The height to raise them, you can raise and lower the flame to suit the model.
I might have some issues on my dialog box here, because when I'm clicking on the candle, I'm not getting a dialog box.
Okay, well, I can see it here, so I'll change. There's obviously something I need to check there.
Yeah.
So there's another texture.
And yeah, I can see it changing and all that. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So you've actually got, I think it's about 30 odd different textures that they can choose from to get the flame that they like, that suits their products.
Okay. Is there anything you want to add or show?
No, I mean the rest of this sim really is just landscaped with Zuzarit's wonderful plants, and I've always intended to have more demonstrations out here of different of the products in different things, but I've never really got the time. I've given myself the time to do it. I mean, there's a fountain here, and there are lights in among the trees there. Perhaps one day I'll expand this to them and have more demonstrations. But I think we've covered what there is here at the moment.
Yes, and I have to say that you have developed vehicles and a lot of wide range of interactive objects for myself. So for our project, so it's not limited to what we've seen here. Is The whole,
yes, this is just one.
That's just like a slice of of the whole range of products that you've done over the years. Well, yeah. I won't take too much of your time. It was great to have this conversation with you. And I'm planning to do more interviews with OpenSim creators and developers, artists, and just, because I believe that as a community, we are kind of maybe insular in the sense, I don't know if that's the right word, but we really need, one of the ways to get the word out is what I feel is through videos. There's this big, vlogging phenomenon, and every time I see videos with millions of views talking about things that, might not be of my interest, and I feel that maybe it's time for us to use that stream, and it's also easily accessible. If you don't have. If you are, traveling on the train or things like that, you can just watch a video clip and get a sense of what we've been doing. And there's so much interesting things happening that if you miss the event in the virtual world, then you will never know it happened, because there's such a tiny group of people meeting for that event, and it's gone. So yes, I encourage others, everyone, that it's not that hard to actually make videos. I'll try to share my best practices as well, and we hope as a community to grow. So thanks for your time, Hendy. It was just a great encounter today with you. And okay, thanks. I'm going to stop streaming now, and bye for now. Okay.
Okay, bye.